What we're looking at here is a Sumerian tablet that actually shows the Tree of Life, flanked by divine beings. You can see here the Anunnaki on each side.
Just imagine.
They're 4,000 years old. They were broken into pieces, and for most of the last century, almost no one on Earth could read them. Then, we handed them to a machine. In the last 2 years, researchers started feeding thousands of shattered Sumerian clay tablets into artificial intelligence. And as the AI fit the fragments back together, a story rose out of the clay. A story about where humans came from, who made us, and what they made us for. Some say it's just ancient myth. Others say it's a memory so old it fell out of history. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly what these tablets claim happened the day humanity was created, and why one man, offered the gift of living forever, turned it down. To understand why this matters, you have to understand the problem. Thousands of years ago, while most of the world had no writing at all, the people of Mesopotamia, the land between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, in what's now Iraq, were keeping records. They pressed their language into wet clay using a script we call cuneiform. They wrote contracts, prayers, lawsuits, love poems, and the oldest stories humanity has ever told. Then the cities fell, the rivers shifted, and the tablets were buried. For thousands of years they slept under the sand. When archaeologists finally dug them up in the ruins of cities like Eridu, Uruk, and Nippur, they found a staggering number: hundreds of thousands of tablets. But there was a catch. Cuneiform is brutally difficult. The same sign can mean different things in different places. Many words have no clean modern translation, and most of the tablets are broken. A cracked corner here, a missing middle there, half a sentence simply gone. The scholars who could read them at all were rare, and they could usually only study one fragment at a time. The result? It's estimated that a huge share of all known cuneiform tablets have never been fully translated or even properly read. An entire library of human memory, sitting in storage, waiting. That's where the machines come in. This part isn't speculation, it's real. In recent years, research teams, including work out of universities in Israel and elsewhere, have built AI models trained on huge collections of Akkadian and Sumerian texts. Some translate ancient cuneiform into English. Others do something even more useful. They predict the missing signs in a damaged tablet, the way your phone guesses the next word in a text message. Suddenly, a fragment that says, "The king built a broken," can be matched against thousands of similar lines until the gap fills in. And when researchers stopped studying tablets one at a time and let the machine compare all of them at once, connections appeared that no single human had ever been positioned to see. Fragments that had been sitting in different museums on different continents turned out to be parts of the same story. Now, here's where we have to be honest with each other, because this is exactly the point where the internet tends to lose its mind. The AI did not discover a secret. It did not invent a new history. It didn't whisper a hidden truth that scholars were hiding. What it did was faster and quieter and, in a way, stranger. It reassembled stories that ancient people wrote down on purpose. Stories they wanted remembered. And those stories are wild enough on their own. Here is what the Mesopotamians actually believed about the creation of humankind. It comes from genuine texts, the Atrahasis epic, the Enuma Elish, the Sumerian creation poems. In the beginning, the stories say there were no humans, there were only the gods. And the gods had a problem. Somebody had to do the work. The land had to be dug, the canals cleared, the harvest brought in. In the oldest versions, it was the lesser gods who were stuck with this endless labor, and eventually they went on strike. So the solution was invented: humanity. According to these texts, humans were created specifically to carry the burden the gods no longer wanted to carry. We were made, in the words of the tablets, to bear the workload of heaven. In some versions, humankind is fashioned from clay mixed with the blood of a slain god, so that something divine is buried inside us from the very first day. Sit with that for a second. The oldest written explanation for human existence isn't, "You are the beloved center of creation." It's closer to, "You were made to do a job." That single, strange idea echoes through 4,000 years of human storytelling. But the story doesn't stop at creation, because almost immediately, the gods themselves begin to disagree about what to do with us. Two names appear again and again in these texts, and they want opposite things. The first is Enki, the god of wisdom, fresh water, and craft. In story after story, Enki is the one who seems to be on humanity's side. He's clever, a little rebellious, and he keeps slipping knowledge just that we maybe weren't supposed to have. When humans are in danger, Enki is the one who finds a loophole. The second is Enlil, the god of wind, storm, and authority. Enlil is order. Enlil is control. And in these stories, Enlil keeps losing patience with humanity. We multiply, we get loud, we grow ambitious. And more than once, Enlil decides the experiment has gone far enough. This tension between the god who wants to lift humanity up and the god who wants to keep humanity in its place is the real engine of Mesopotamian mythology. It's a 4,000-year-old argument about whether knowledge should be shared or hoarded, about whether we're meant to stay small or allowed to become something more. And one human stands right at the center of that argument. His name was Adapa. In the texts, Adapa isn't an ordinary man. He's described as exceptionally wise, a kind of first sage, gifted understanding by Enki himself. He could think, reason, and lead. If anyone represented the upgraded potential of humanity, it was him. Then came the day that defined us forever. Adapa is summoned up to the heavens to stand before Anu, the highest god of the sky. It's an extraordinary honor, a human invited into the court of the gods. And there, the stories say, food and drink are placed before him, not ordinary food, the food and water of life itself. Eternal life offered to a human being. But before the journey, Enki, his protector, had warned him, "Whatever they offer you up there, do not eat, do not drink. It will be the bread of death." So Adapa obeys. He stands before immortality, and he refuses it. And here's the gut punch of the whole tale. Some readings suggest Enki was wrong, or testing him, or protecting his own power, that the food was real, and Adapa, by being perfectly obedient, threw away eternal life for all of us. The one moment humanity could have become deathless, and it slipped through our fingers because a man did exactly what he was told. Whether Enki saved Adapa or doomed him is a question the tablets never fully answer. That's part of why people can't stop reading them. And then there's the flood, because eventually, in these stories, Enlil gets his wish. Humanity has grown too numerous, too restless, too much, and the decision is made to wipe the slate clean. A great flood, sent to erase humankind and start over. But Enki, of course it's Enki, can't let it happen. He goes to a single righteous man and warns him in secret. In the Sumerian version, that man is called Ziusudra. In the Akkadian retelling, he's Utnapishtim. In the epic of Atrahasis, he's Atrahasis himself. The instruction is always the same. Build a boat. Save your family. Save the seed of all living things. The waters are coming. The rain falls. The rivers rise. The land vanishes beneath the water. And when it recedes, the survivors step out into a remade world to begin again. If that story sounds familiar, it should. Centuries before the book of Genesis was written, the people of Mesopotamia were already telling the tale of a man, a warning, a boat, and a flood that nearly ended us all. Noah is not where this story begins. He's where it arrives, after 1,000 years of being told in older tongues. That's not a conspiracy. That's documented literary history, and honestly, it's more astonishing than any conspiracy. Now, we reach the part where serious history ends and modern speculation begins. And I want to be clear about which is which, because that line matters. Some interpreters look at all of this. Humans made to labor, gods handing down knowledge, an upgrade in our intelligence. And they ask a provocative question. What if these weren't gods at all? What if these were visitors and the creation was something closer to engineering? They point to a name that appears in the Babylonian sky records, Nibiru. In the actual texts, Nibiru is most likely an astronomical term, a point of crossing, associated with the god Marduk. But in modern retellings, popularized in the 20th century, Nibiru got transformed into a mysterious planet on a 3,600-year orbit, home to the beings who supposedly made us. Mainstream astronomers are blunt about this. There is no evidence for such a planet. The ancient astronaut reading rests on translations most scholars reject. So, treat it for what it is, a modern theory wearing ancient clothes. Intriguing as a thought experiment. Not established fact. But here's the honest, uncomfortable thing that keeps the debate alive. The Mesopotamians, with no telescopes, tracked the heavens with astonishing precision. They recorded eclipses and planetary cycles for centuries. They clearly thought the sky was trying to tell them something. And we still don't fully know everything they knew. So, what did AI actually show us? Not a hidden secret, not a rewritten history. It connected thousands of broken pieces and handed us back the oldest story humanity ever chose to write down. A story where we were made to work, and then, against the will of at least one god, started to think. Where knowledge was a gift and a danger. Where immortality was offered and lost. Where a flood nearly erased us, and a single warning saved the species. The real question isn't whether the AI found something new. It's why, across 4,000 years and a dozen civilizations, humans kept telling this particular story. Why so many cultures remember a flood. Why so many remember being made for a purpose. Whether that's coincidence, shared memory, or something we genuinely don't understand yet. Here's where it comes to you. Are these the beautiful myths of a people trying to explain their world? Or is there a thread of real memory buried in the clay? Something true, worn smooth into legend over thousands of years? Tell me in the comments what you think Adapa should have done. Taken the food, or trusted his God? And if this video made the past feel a little less distant, like and share it, so the next person can fall down this rabbit hole too. The tablets waited 4,000 years to be read. The least we can do is listen.